Crowbar Gym Fitness Evolution. The real high intensity is here. Stop wasting time with worthless.
Crowbar Gym, downtown Leesburg. I'm Jancel Conroy. This is.
And I'm Bryce.
Yeah. So Bryce works with us, and one of the things, he's a trainer here. And one of the things that I got him doing, and I've done it myself multiple times too as well, is that we're doing the longevity diet. So right now, as you can see, the book's not coming out, but it says Longevity Diet by, Dr. Longo, okay? And here, what we do is let's look up here. We have a prolon box at the top, right? And this prolon box is called a 5-day mimicking fasting diet, right? So I'm gonna, you probably see my video all over the internet right now because I just put it all over the place. So this is the new year, and what most people are doing is they're trying to make themselves promises that they can't keep, right? And so one of the comments that I saw on one of the posts was this this is a scam, right? And at the end of the day, it's like, and I asked the person, it's like, why do you believe it's a scam? Of course, I didn't get any reply, and also the post didn't have much on it. Their page was weird, but they did look like a real person. So at the end of the day, another person said this one. They said, well, I thought fasting was free, and guess what? Yes, it is. But again, I usually ask people a couple of questions when we're training here at the gym. I go, what kind of eating plan are you on? Do you prepare your own food? What kind of food are you eating? And then the other one is that do you know how much protein, carbs, and all these other micronutrients? Do you know any of that? And most people say no. Okay, so that's number one. That's a problem, because if you don't know what's happening in your eating plan, then therefore you're not going to be sure, right? Another one is that are you fasting? And people say yes, I am. And I ask them how many days, how many hours. Guess what? They don't know. Right? So while fasting is free, most people don't have the ability or the concept on how to fast, right? So there's many ways of fasting, right? The reason why I picked this is because, one, it does work. So mind you, putting in a lot of money into these products here, right, and then reselling them to another person as a method in the gym is a process. And at the end of the day, we know it works because, one, they've been around almost for like 20 years. There's a book out too as well. If you ever read the Longevity Diet by Dr. Longo, he has videos and stuff like that. And then they talk about the science. One thing that I've noticed when I've tried it is that there is a whole behavioral change. Number one. Two, the other thing is that it's very easy to do, actually, right? So now Bryce is going to tell you how his experience was on the 5-day fast. So right now you're on what, like day 3?
Day 3, that's
okay.
right. Yeah.
So tell me about the first day on your fast.
So the first day was kind of interesting. You'd get 2 soups. They give you vitamin pills, and it's just kind of like, what am I doing? I miss my regular diet.
Of course.
You're like, but it was enough food to get me through the day, and I thought, okay, I can do this. And it gave me like confidence to go to the next day. Day 2, that's when I started feeling very hungry.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, man, I really want to eat. I was starting to feel the detox.
Mm-hmm.
And now
Is it more cravings, or you feel like you're not having enough food?
No, it's more of a craving. Like,
mm-hmm.
you have enough food throughout the day, but
mm-hmm.
you definitely want more.
Did you finish all of your food on day 1, by the way?
I finished most of it.
See, so you had too much.
Then. Yeah, there's some food that.
So one of the things is you have a lot of fiber in this, and you also have a lot more fat. So it's a plant-based keto. That's the best way of discussing it. Very low protein. So what else? How was the third day going for you?
So third day, I'm definitely still very hungry. But it's so far so good. You just work through it, mm-hmm. and once you're on day 3, you feel like you can go more and more through the program.
Yeah, and so you have literally 2 more days.
2 more days. That's it.
And so by the time you get to the last day, usually the worst day is usually the 2nd or the 3rd. Today it's your 3rd.
Yeah.
Sometimes it can be the 5th, depending on how your eating plan is. So if you have if you eat out a lot, and you have a lot of saturated fats in your diet, a lot of sugars in your diet, yes, the fast is going to be a little tough for you. And then your face is leaned out a little bit, mm-hmm. and then you also have, I'm not sure if you weighed yourself, but every time I do it, I usually lose like 4 inches, and then I lose about I would say like 7 pounds, right? And some of that it could be inflammations. I've also done a tape in here with people. Sometimes it's just like it's a combination of water weight and also fat, and that's what you'll see. Have you done any labor work while you're on this diet, for example?
No, I haven't done any labor work.
Okay, so you've been just kind of relaxed.
Yeah,
and so that's the prescribed thing that they talk about in the diet. They don't want you to actually like do any hard work. And that's another thing. Like if you're fasting for 3 days and you have a very physical job, or you have a mentally physical job where you're like, man, I'm like thinking a lot, and it's very stressful. Yes, if you can break past the 3rd day on a no food, nothing whatsoever fast, just water, right? Yeah, it does work, and I've done it before. But mind you, it's a very grueling process, and a lot of people are not really wired to do that. So this box, even though sometimes like a lot of people don't want to do it again, because everybody loves to eat, man. That's just the truth and the reality of it. It's still a great mechanism to use after people do it after like they had, maybe they had a total debauchery, like, for a month or two, right? Too much drinking, too much junk. Mm-hmm. And I would say the behavior modification is the big thing. You'll tell me what you think after you're done. Okay. After that, because then food is going to taste totally different for you when you come back. I know right now you're like, I want some fried chicken, so and that's the truth, and that's how it goes. So we're actually going to do a very light workout today, and we're going to eventually post that. It is known if you do fast, either 16 hours or 3 days or a 5-day fast, or whatever the case is, if you train fasted, when you refeed, you actually promote muscle growth. And you can find the literature on this. It's very popular if you look at fasting literature and stuff like that. What you don't want is you don't want to do it like a marathon. So what you want to do is you want short bursts of, so here we do high intensity training, and usually it's like 15 minutes. It's very intense in the muscles, a lot of contraction, and sometimes we're not even moving, we're just holding positions. Or you want to do like a steady, like very brisk walk, but like where you can't breathe very well. That's another way of doing it. If you're doing fasting at home and you want to lose some body weight while you're fasted, you can do some exercise. Another one is doing HIIT cardio. You can do that too as well. I find that the weight training is superior, and that's the route that I like to go to, because one, it's safer, and then two, you can always scale it up. So if you're like 100 pounds is too much for you, then you can always scale it down. If you let's say you lifted 200 pounds and that's too easy for you, you can technically add more weight and make it more intense, and that's what you want to do. Well, stay tuned. We're gonna talk about this next time, see how the last day goes. And Crowbar Gym out. And we're downtown Leesburg. We do high intensity training, time under tension, and literally we compress a 45-minute workout into 15 minutes or less, depending on who the subject matter is. All right, thanks. Have a good day.